and you had to step to the plate. And I've had at least 6 superintendents. I know 5 in the Christina School District before I retired. At least 5? Yeah, at least 5. And each one of them brought a different program. And you had to make changes. And you had to get in the classroom. All of it was about achievement in terms of the children in the classroom. And you lost your job behind that. That's the way it was. And same with your staff. You had to get in and observe the classes. And there was just no way everybody could get, it's going to be well above, no need improvement in something. That's ludicrous.
Right.
But again, I'm not the state superintendent. I know you on that, so that's not my lane. I stay in my lane. But I just thought that was kind of interesting when I read those things. I know you want to speak on that.
I hear you talking about, though, you're talking about opportunity to bring lots of things together to support our children. Right? Whether it was a new program or whether it was reaching out to the parents. You know, I think it's incredible that we're seeing people step forward to try to seize this opportunity. Right? We're seeing the city council holding an evening where hundreds of people are there.
Yeah,
we're seeing the Urban League stand up and
Yes.
offer to be supportive. We're seeing IMAX standing up
Yes.
and offering to be supportive. And
Yes.
you're talking about it, and I'm sitting next to 2 people who are directly serving youth themselves, the
Yes.
children
Yes.
themselves, to empower them. This is an opportunity for people to come together, maybe in a way that they haven't before, to make sure that we're able to coordinate the help for kids directly with the mental health that's needed and the physical health, right on down to that classroom instruction that we know helps to accelerate their learning. But this is an opportunity for us to do this together.
Right. Well, I tell you, it's amazing, and it's really, to me, it's interesting to see that you've made a decision, and that's what you do. You make decisions, and sometimes they're not going to be accepted by everybody. But I think, it takes guts to stand up and say something has to change. And I'll leave it at that, because everybody's not going to agree with what's going on. But the bottom line is, if our children are going to be our future and they're going to be leading this country, I don't see how we can get there if we don't make it better for them. I honestly believe that. And I'm not knocking any school district, or I'm not knocking or making any comments against any principal. But I'm telling you, sometimes old school is better in terms of, I'm amazed that I had a job a couple years ago, and my role was to work with principals. Very interesting. And one young man, about 3:30 or something before the lights were all out at his school. I thought that amazed me. So I thought about it, and I challenged him one day about that. And I asked him about his school and his philosophy and his vision. And he kind of got upset with me. And I told him, I said, first thing, I would never let my teachers beat me to school. That's the first thing. And the second thing, I would be here when they leave. I would never be gone. When the teachers in my building working and in their classroom working, that showed me that they cared about their students, and you stay. You make sure they're safe. You make sure they might want a soda, whatever. But they need to see you as a leader, that you're coming by that room and saying, I appreciate you doing your lesson plans here. And those are the things that he was stunned when I said that to him. And he was very upset with me. And I said, as a parent, that would bother me. And as a teacher, I wouldn't consider you a leader for me as a teacher in your building, because you're not here, you're gone. So I had to report that. Of course, he's gone now, but I had to do what I had to do, because to me, old school just came out. It was like, no, that's not the way we do it. But there's some excellent administrators up and down the state, and we have some excellent teachers. But I think that when I see children not doing well, and they're not going to get the jobs that they need, they're not going to be able to deal socially with certain things. We have to change all of that. I really do. And I think that I commend people like, Namdi and all those others who are out there in the field, J Street and others. Everybody has a vision in terms of what they think is the best way to educate the children. And somewhere on the line, you got to put all that stuff in the pot and stir it up and say, now we're ready to make cupcakes for everybody, because we know that the food's going to taste good. And that's what I think about when I'm sitting there the other night when you were talking, and you're right, we had over 200 and some people in there. The bottom line is we got to make sure that we come up with a formula, and the formula is making sure that all of our children at a level that they can survive, even if they don't go to college, that they're going to be able to get a good job, get a nice apartment, nice car, and be able to successfully make it legally.
I think that we're beginning to see that a lot with the Life Map program that we're doing. And I really touch back on your comment about doing it from an old school standpoint. I met Keith James earlier in 2014, and you could say that we kind of met through an old school standpoint.
Right.
Keith had heard a lot about the work that we were doing with the Life Map. Namdi also sits on our speaker bureau for the Life Map experience.
Right.
And what we've been trying to do is get this in front of as many youth as possible. And just like you said, give them the opportunity to know that there are more options available to them. You have so many youth that believe if I'm not going to college, then subsequently I don't have a future. And that's not necessarily true. You have AmeriCorps, you have Job Corps, you have trade schools, you have various ways that you can build skills and not only be a good person to yourself, but a good person to your community. So we're expanding their minds. Over the summer, what we were able to do was establish a 3-year partnership with the city of Wilmington. And what we wanted to do was provide empowerment training for our youth. Let them know that they are the future, they are tomorrow. And if you are not able to think about tomorrow and formulate how you want to see tomorrow, then you're inherently not going to do anything when you get there.
Wow.
You know, what good are the eyes when the mind is blind? A lot of these youth don't know how to see outside of their community. A lot of these youth have never seen outside of their community. Some of these youth that live on 6th and 7th Street have never been down to the Blue Rock Stadium.
Wow.
I think that's a travesty.
Yeah,
this is just as much as your community as anyone else, and you should be available. You should have those assets that are in your community that are available to help you understand that you have various ways and various paths to be able to not only make a change in yourself, but make a change in your community. I mean, yesterday, Keith was as the CEO of the Voice for Voiceless, he read a peace march on Wilmington, and where a lot of individuals would have said, I need this person, I need this, and I need that, and I'm not going to be able to do it unless I have all these things together.
Right.
We know that it starts with one person. Most major movements that have ever happened in this country were not responsible by elected officials. They weren't responsible by police officers. They were elected by one individual that said, I'm going to take a stand to make a better tomorrow for my community. And that's what we're beginning to see. And like we said, we want to make sure that when youth are looking at us, they're saying that I want to be the next Keith James, and not necessarily I have the ability to be the next Mike Brown or the next Trayvon Martin. Let them know that you can make a change in your community regardless of what you're doing. And if you're able to articulate your adversity, and that's what the Life Map really does for people. Everybody has been through something, but are you able to talk about it? Let us know that you understand why you went through it, and use it as fuel to get to where you're going in life. And that's really what we're doing with this project. And we think that this model can help you throughout the entire state. We think that no matter what your adversity looks like, where you're from, we can have a sit down with you, walk you through this curriculum that is the Life Map experience, and really open up to youth and let them know that anything is possible as long as you have hard work and dedication. And Keith James is a living testament to that. So we're very, very proud of the initiatives that we're breaking out through United Way of Delaware. And we think that we're going to have a very, very strong youth presence. Our first Youth Advisory Council meeting is going to be October 25th at the United Way of Delaware offices from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And what we're going to do is we're going to be coming together, letting the youth know what we plan to do. And this is going to be consistent, because I think that's the biggest key for our youth in this city is consistency, letting them know that there are going to be meetings every single month. We're going to have community service projects available to them every single month, because we understand that that's a big component of graduating in the state of Delaware is having your community service hours. So we're keeping our ears to the street, making sure that youth are present in the center of the room, and we're being there for them. I mean, we have a plethora of youth that call my phone, that call Keith James' phone, so that the first option isn't violence. The first option isn't lashing out and making a rash decision that will affect you for the rest of your life. You have individuals that are there that can help you understand that there are options available to you so that you can continue to live the life that is available to you and reach the success that you desire for yourself.
Well, I tell you right now, you can count me in anything you need. I would love to get involved and try to help get young people to come to your meetings on On Saturdays?
Yes, we're going to be holding them. Most likely it's going to be the last Saturday of every month, and our community service project will be bi-weekly. What we're doing is we're going to have a general body, which is going to be made up of youth between the ages of 13 and 18, and then we're going to have ambassadors that are going to be between the ages of 18 and 22, and they're going to work in a higher capacitated role in order to really be the individuals that are the faces for this movement. We want to make sure that everybody knows that there isn't one or two kings in Delaware, that every youth, no matter who you are a king and a queen. You have the opportunity to be a leader right now.
Okay, well, I'm really impressed with both of you, and you have my email address.
Yes, sir.
And I'd love to help you in any way that I can, getting young people to come. If you need anything from me, you contact Pritchett Associates, and we'll definitely help you.
Very much appreciate that, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, that's what I do. Somebody, his dad helped me.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing it. I'm giving it back.
I think what makes, the group of men that we have sitting up here, not only as role models and leaders in our community, they don't just talk the talk, they show it, through their actions.
Yes.
And, Oren says, a lot that, be the next Keith James, but it's not really even about me. We have over 200 examples at 312 North Market Street with the Life Map Gallery. It's youth that have opportunities now. And not only that, they built goals off of these life maps and know how to get there. They understand that their assets outweigh their adversity and have an optimistic way to look at life now. It just takes, a group of people to actually care, actually to listen, actually to show that true unconditional love again, as you said. And, there was one thing you said, think outside of the box. One thing we always stress is there is no box.
Right.
We let the youth know that anything that you want to be, anything that you desire in life, you can have. With hard work and dedication, it will come. Yes. But it's going to take more than just one program or one person or one sector of one field doing all the work. It's going to take all of us to come together and really sit at the table and listen to all voices, and that includes the youth voice. And the youth voice is just as important, because we are tomorrow. If we don't listen to the youth voice and we don't continue to be better than yesterday, we would still be in the dark ages.
Well, I appreciate it. Okay, Secretary Murphy, you and Namdi have something else you'd like to share? We have 1 minute. I'm definitely going to make sure you get that in.
Just share that it's inspiring to hear what your guests have been talking about tonight, which is really how do we empower our youth, and then how do we serve them? How do we provide all the services that they need to grow up properly, and that they need to be ultimately successful? And for your listeners, that right now Wilmington has an opportunity. There are 6 schools. They are our priority schools, and they have an opportunity to come together and chart a course for excellence.
Okay, Namdi.
Just thank you for having this conversation, and again continuing it. And I beg all of our city constituents and all our elected officials that represent the city to really be involved. And let's stay involved. Council is having these hearings that we had the one. That's not going to be the last one.
Right.
We want to keep it going. We really want to make education a core issue for council, and we look forward to being back on here discussing our future programs.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having us.
To our viewing audience, again, thank you for spending the time to watch us this evening. And I will be back on the second Sunday in November, and we'll keep it rolling. Good night, and God bless everyone.